Hi gals, welcome back to another episode of Zero Waste Closet. So this week the focus is capsule wardrobes, and specifically we are going to build a very tiny capsule wardrobe for your new fall look. And I want to do this using a wardrobe experiment or principle that has been very popular in recent years called the 10 by 10 wardrobe. And we're going to do kind of a classic French sort of street style wardrobe. So we've got some good themes going on here. And I really am excited about sharing the 10 by 10 concept with you guys, because if you've never built a capsule wardrobe, the 10 by 10 concept makes it really easy to experiment, really easy to learn how to do this for yourself. It is a great opportunity to see how a little can go a very long way, so that if you're thinking about shrinking your wardrobe down so that you just have an easier time getting dressed and save money and just have a cleaner space in your closet, this is a really good place to start. And you may ultimately expand it to perhaps a 30-piece wardrobe, a 50-piece wardrobe, whatever works for you. But I love playing with the 10 by 10 concept. So let me explain to you guys how this works. So the whole idea behind the 10 by 10 capsule wardrobe is that you're going to select 10 pieces to create 10 different looks to cover you for 10 days. And if you find this to be really a successful experiment for you and you want to carry it through the entire month, or even make those 10 pieces last for 3 months, then you are definitely a committed minimalist, and I really applaud you. In my case, I love doing this just so that I can get really clear on my personal style, really clear on those pieces that are working for me. And I will tell you guys, if any of you feel like flags are going up because you're just, this is actually a common mindset blockage when it comes to creating a capsule wardrobe. For those of you who love to get dressed, who are fashion diehards, a lot of times I will hear people say, you know what, I just love clothes too much, or I just want to get creative and this could get really limiting and boring for me. I want to really challenge that. Gals, I am obsessed with creating capsules because I actually find that it's an opportunity to express like insane creativity, because you're working with a limited number of pieces to create as many looks out of them as you can. It's actually really, really fun, really empowering. Think of it almost like being a chef who is given just a small amount of ingredients and you've got to come up with as many recipes as you can. How fun is that? Especially if you're a creative type or a fashionista. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna look at how I went about creating my 10 by 10, just so you kind of know the methodology behind it. And then you're gonna see the 10 pieces I selected, 10 looks I came up with, and then hopefully you're gonna go out and have a little experiment of your own. So let's take a look at how this capsule came together. Okay, gals, so one of the first questions I get when building a concise capsule wardrobe is, what do you actually include in it? And this is very simple. For a 10 by 10, I have included my clothing, pieces for daytime/nighttime, and shoes. It does not include accessories, sleepwear, swimwear, gym wear, that type of stuff. It's really just my day-to-day look pieces, but definitely note, shoes are included. So I decided to do 2 pairs of shoes, 8 pieces of clothing, and this is fairly typical for a 10 by 10 capsule. And I love this because accessories tend to not take up that much space. So if I want to, I can go wild when it comes to my belts or my jewelry or my handbag choices, and that can really add some flavor, especially for those of you who do feel like you get bored easily and need it to be a little bit more fun. So when I proceed, once I know how many I'm going to do of each thing, so 8 pieces of clothing, 2 pairs of shoes, the next thing I do is I decide on a color story. For me, I wanted a really nice fall color palette, but I want to keep it very, very simple because I want everything to be able to mix and match easily. So I chose 2 base colors, black and white. That's very simple, very classic. And then 1 accent color, which for me in this case is going to be kind of like a rusty terracotta color, beautiful going into fall. And again, these all mix and match really nicely with each other. I also like to decide on just like a general tenor or vibe for the wardrobe, a stylistic choice or focus. And for me, I wanted to go with this kind of effortless French kind of classic, French inspired classic wardrobe that has a little bit of street style, a little bit of irony to it, but has just some of those really classic silhouettes in there and things like the Breton stripes. I love that look. And that French theme is going to be very big for fall this year, just FYI. If you guys are familiar with my bigger capsule wardrobes or even my suitcase capsules, you will know that I almost invariably start with shoes. In this case, because it's a very small capsule, I actually left the shoes for last, but I did know in my mind that I was going to do one kind of sneaker style shoe that I could do a lot of walking in, and then one slightly more elevated shoe that would probably be a boot. But I really started with the clothing choices first. So let me show you where I began. I started with my very basic bottom half pieces. And again, you're gonna see a lot of basics in here because you want the mix and match potential, but then you want a few special, what I call those hero pieces that we talked about last week in last week's video, those kind of special focal pieces just to give it some flavor. So for the bottom half, I wanted an awesome pair of very versatile jeans. I will just show these as examples. You probably have great jeans in your closet already. If not though, of course, take inspiration from here and know that you can always come in and find these pieces at Chill. I started with these awesome high-waisted straight leg jeans from Coco and Carmen. Okay, sorry girls, I had to stop for a second, clear the frog in my throat. Anyway, these are a high-waisted, straight leg, slim cut jean. They are ultra flattering, very stretchy. This is the Ever Stretch style from Coco and Carmen. We have these in 3 different styles right now, just FYI, if you are needing a good classic pair of jeans. And I like the slightly darker wash going into fall, number 1, and number 2, I find that with a slightly darker wash, it's a little bit easier to dress them up. Then next, I wanted a good solid black jean, and I love these here from Lissé. This is just their, it's like a legging, but it's denim. Very, very form-fitting, very flattering, has the waistband that just holds everything in, gives you a nice, sleek, clean look. And again, these can really be dressed up. And then for a third piece on the bottom, I went with a silky slip skirt here, and we have a couple of different styles of these in store if you need something like this. And I love this, again, opportunity for dress up and just to vary my look up so that I have a little bit of the more feminine in this capsule. Okay, so let's move on to the shirts. I begin with a basic graphic t-shirt, and any graphic tee will do, but I feel like graphic t-shirts, as you'll see in the looks, have so much styling potential. They always help to kind of dress down an otherwise maybe slightly conservative or too dressed up look, and they're just fun to play with. So this one says, never underestimate the power of a good outfit on a bad day, which I just think is perfect, totally resonates with me. And then I wanted like a nice basic layering piece. I love these new, very soft, easy, stretchy, kind of scoopy neck t-shirts in from Grade and Gather. This fits in perfectly with my color story. And then, of course, if you guys know me well, you know I always have to have some version of the Riley shirt in there, again, for its infinite styling potential. Also, in this case, because we have gotten the Riley in such a beautiful fall color palette. This is one of my favorite ones. It's in the, I think they call this color maple syrup. It's so pretty, and so this is my accent piece. Love it. You'll see all the different ways I'm able to work with it. And then finally, as I mentioned earlier, I wanted a nice striped tee-in or shirt or sweater, something of the sort, because that is going to be huge for fall this year, the stripes. And I wanted that little bit of French flair, and I think you always have to have stripes in there when you're doing a French capsule. So I love this one that you guys may have seen in several videos ago when I did a preview of the new Velvet Heart collection. And I love this. And again, it has really great styling potential. And then finally, gals, final piece on the clothing front, I wanted one dress that could easily be dressed up or down, that was a nice neutral, very easy to go into the cooler months, but could also work on a warmer day. So I love this one here, brand new in from Grade and Gather. It has pockets. This is just a great piece. So next, let's look at the shoe choices. So as I mentioned, I'm only giving myself 2 pairs of shoes to work with. Gals, when you pick the right shoes, it is amazing how far you can get with just 2 pairs of shoes. In fact, it's like a huge eye opener for me because I tend to amass shoes. I just have like a shoe thing, same with handbags. But really, I find that I actually tend to only gravitate towards a few pairs on a regular basis. So you'll see I can make 2 pairs of shoes work for all of these outfits. First, I go with a high top sneaker shoe from Coachy here. Very comfortable, easy, lends that kind of street style vibe to the outfit. And then I pull in a weathered bed stew leather boot. Love this in this, they call it Black Luxe. It's just a weathered black, and it gives just kind of a cool casual vibe to my looks, but it can also add a little bit of just polish and dressiness too if I want to take something into evening. And now for the fun part, let's look at the 10 outfits, 10 days worth of looks I got out of these 10 pieces for my 10 by 10 capsule. Gals, I hope this was super informative for you. I hope it was inspiring, empowering, and that it got you thinking about what you are going to do with your own fall wardrobe, and maybe gave you some motivation to be really selective when you are cleaning out your closet or maybe out doing some shopping. I hope this gave you focus. So if you guys have any thoughts, ideas of your own that you would like to share with the rest of us, please drop them in the comment section below, or of course you can always send me an email to lisa@shopchillstyle.com. If you need some assistance pulling together your own fall wardrobe, maybe need some great little additions, then make sure to stop in and see us here at Chill Boutique in Fountain Hills, Arizona, or jump online to www.shopchillstyle.com, and you'll be able to peruse our newest collections. Remember, we always ship for free over $75. So gals, if you guys liked this week's video and you love this kind of content, please make sure to give it a thumbs up. And if you have not already, make sure to jump on and subscribe to this YouTube channel, Zero Waste Closet. That way you guys get notifications whenever new videos come out. I am excited for all of you for your new fall wardrobes and just for these minimalist opportunities that are in front of us. And if you've never tried it, I really encourage you to. Can't hurt to try. You never know what you're going to learn about yourself. I look forward to seeing you soon.